Move it! I was talking here! What are you looking at? Get out of here!
Every neighborhood has one person everyone fears. One person who thinks the rules don't apply to him. In Crestwood District, that man was Alberto, loud, arrogant, and convinced he was untouchable. But one quiet afternoon, he crossed paths with someone new. Someone ordinary, or so he thought. That meeting changed the entire community. For years, 30-year-old Alberto had walked through the community like he owned every sidewalk, every shop, every corner. He insulted people freely. He intimidated others just for fun. He interrupted conversations, pushed boundaries, and made sure everyone knew he was the one in control. Neighbors avoided him. Store owners tolerated him. No one dared confront him. Because confronting Alberto meant trouble. But that illusion of power was shattered the day he met Santorio, a calm, soft-spoken 25-year-old who had just moved into the neighborhood. To everyone else, Santorio was just that new guy. Quiet. Easygoing. A courier worker who minded his own business. But behind the silence, something far bigger was hidden. From the moment Santorio arrived, he kept a low profile. He rented a modest apartment. Went to work early. Came home late. Smiled politely at neighbors. No loud music. No drama. No gossip. People liked him, but they didn't know him. He never mentioned his past. He never talked about family. And he never explained why he chose that particular neighborhood. But he observed everything. Who lived where? Who moved suspiciously? Which corners stayed busy at night? Which buildings had unofficial visitors? He wasn't just living there. He was studying the area. But nobody noticed, except one man. Alberto. It happened outside a convenience store. Santorio stepped outside with a small bag of groceries, head down, minding his business. Alberto, standing nearby with two of his usual followers, noticed the newcomer. "Hey!" Alberto shouted. "You're new here. Who said you could just move in?" Santorio paused, polite as always. "I'm just living my life, brother. No trouble." But Alberto didn't like calm responses. He preferred fear. Control. So he stepped closer, too close, and tried to intimidate him the way he did everyone else. A shove. A mocking laugh. A few harsh words meant to embarrass him. The neighborhood watched quietly, holding their breath. Everyone knew how this went. Alberto would humiliate the person, walk away laughing, and nothing would happen. But this time, something was different. Santorio didn't react. He didn't get angry. He didn't step back. He simply stared at Alberto with an unreadable calmness. Not fear. Not shock. Just awareness. It unsettled Alberto more than anything. Over the next few days, Alberto made it his mission to bother Santorio. Blocking his path, insulting him, mocking his job as a courier, trying to provoke him in public. But Santorio never reacted. He remained patient, polite, and composed. Almost too composed. Neighbors whispered. Why doesn't the new guy fight back? Why is he so calm? Doesn't he know who Alberto is? Alberto interpreted the calmness as weakness. He thought Santorio was scared. Helpless. Easy to push around. But he had no idea who he was dealing with. And nobody in the community knew the truth. It started with a late-night operation. Unmarked vehicles quietly entered the neighborhood. Plainclothes officers moved through alleyways. A coordinated team followed a detailed strategy. And at the center of it all was Santorio. The community woke up to news that law enforcement had been targeting an illegal operation running out of an old warehouse, a place Alberto and his crew frequently visited. But the biggest shock came when the officers identified themselves and motioned toward the calm, quiet courier everyone thought they knew. "Thank you, Agent Santorio. Your intel was accurate." Silence fell over the street. The polite young man who never raised his voice. The neighbor who helped carry groceries. The courier who always kept to himself. Was actually a high-ranking special operations officer working undercover. His mission: observe illegal activities, gather intel, identify key individuals, and prepare the area for a major operation. And Alberto? He had been harassing a trained specialist, someone far more capable than he realized. Within hours, several individuals were detained as part of the investigation. Community members watched in disbelief as officers sealed the warehouse and questioned multiple associates. Alberto's arrogance finally caught up with him. The man who had spent years intimidating others had unknowingly targeted the one person he should never have provoked. His behavior didn't go unnoticed. It became part of a larger investigation. For the first time, the community felt a sense of relief, not because someone got punished, but because justice finally stepped into a place where fear had ruled for too long. Alberto thought he was untouchable, feared by many and challenged by none. But what he didn't know was that the quiet, easygoing newcomer he harassed was someone far more capable than he ever imagined. And in the end, he learned a powerful truth. You never really know who you're dealing with, until it's too late. If you watched this far, tell us in the comments. What would you have done if you were in Santorio's shoes? And have you ever seen someone underestimate the wrong person? Your thoughts help shape future stories, so don't forget to share your comments below.